everyone, welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel. This is me, Annie, and I will be drawing for you today. Grab your tea, coffee and snacks and let's dive into today's video. So, how's your week started? How's the weekend? Anything good happened? As some of you may already know, I have a sweet tooth that's sometimes out of control. So I decided to give myself a little bit of fruit therapy, let's say. I was looking at the colorful pictures of fruits and berries and everything like that, and I decided to draw some oranges today because they bring some joy to my heart. I really like how citrus look like. The oranges, limes, lemons, grapefruits. I mean, I really like to eat them as well. They're not my favorite fruits, but I still do enjoy eating them sometimes. So today I wanted to fill up the missing spread in my little square sketchbook and fill them with juicy oranges. And while I'm on it, I thought, why not chat about something simple and something unrelated to art? Because, I mean, I'm drawing oranges. There's no secret message to it. It's just nice and bright looking. So I'm just gonna enjoy the simplicity of the drawing while chatting with you about how I find inspiration for art and what sparks my creativity. My husband and I, we started playing more games together. I used to be afraid of MOBA games in my past because I thought that it was just too toxic and too competitive and people would get frustrated with me being like somebody new, and I would probably be the reason that they would lose games, at least at first, you know, when I'm learning. And I tried to stay away from this genre whatsoever, but then I got into this predecessor game that's like a remake of older Paragon game or something like that. I never was a part of that game community whatsoever, but I played the predecessor for a while, so I learned some MOBA basics there. Then after a while I got a little bored of it. So my husband tried to offer me to try out League of Legends, which was also like not so much pleasant to me at first. I tried it before, like maybe a few years. I didn't like the isometric view at first because it's like a more tactical game. It's like at an angled view, like from above. If you have played any other tactical video games, you are familiar with this type of angle and view. I'm more into something more personal, I guess. Like I love view where I can see my character from behind, like a third person view. I would enjoy some animations and like look at the magic and action and everything like that. So that's what predecessor actually offered me a lot. In League of Legends you cannot switch to the third person view, but since I got a little bored of the predecessor and I wanted to try out something new, and I did play some other games like Lost Ark or Diablo with similar view as League of Legends, and also one of my older favorite games of all times was the same angle view but more action, I guess, but it could also have some zoom in preview of the character and a lot of cool animations and magic and stuff like that. That game was very old and it was not as popular as many games right now are. It's named Lunia. So my husband put me to try some League of Legends, and at first I didn't like it because of the view, but then I kind of got into it. The game offers a lot of champions and a lot of smaller mechanics and different skill sets that I could try out. Even though I like playing support role, it offers way more support champions and different mechanics of how I can support my team, which offered me a lot of interest. So I started trying out different support champions. One of these days he's like, oh, I think I know what character you might like, and he said you can search for this Rakan guy and I will play the Zaya carry. So we went together on one lane. Well, we usually don't do that. He's usually playing in jungle or top lane or solo lane, and I'm usually on support, which is the opposite side of the map. So we rarely interact together unless somebody comes to other lane to help out, or it's a team fight on an objective or something like that. So this time it was something different for a change, so we stayed together in one lane. I really liked how Rakan and Zaya are interacting with each other. I hope I pronounced their names right, because that's how I think they're pronounced. But anyway, even if I don't, bear with me. So anyway, we tried this couple, and these characters, they are very much dependent on each other, because by lore they are lovers, which made me want to try them even more, because some of their interactions, like emotions and like dance animations and even recalling to the base, it's kind of tied together, so we can recall together even if one of us is recalling. If the other one comes during the channeling time and also starts recalling, they are jumping to the base together and to the safety, which is also super cute. And the way the characters are interacting, they're like hugging and, you know, sending each other kisses and everything like that. I'm just overjoyed with looking at how cute and lovely they are. I cannot help myself but be inspired by this, and also their designs are very colorful and bright and nice, and I thought maybe I should draw a fan art of them someday. I don't know why, I just feel like my drawing will not be as cute or good as I want it to be. I guess it's the fear of an empty page, but anyway, maybe I will do the fan art if I'm courageous enough later on. We played a few matches, and it was really fun actually. Even though a lot of people who play League on a regular basis, they say that they are not good pick for a bottom lane because they're way more stronger characters or something like that. But it's a game and I want to enjoy while playing, not work. So I don't care if they are not good enough or strong enough, whatever. If it brings me joy and I can play the characters, have fun while doing it, why not? Who cares? And if it means that we are losing match, well, we can't win them all anyway, so why bother, I guess. But yeah, that's little something that is really sparkling, joyful tingle in my soul when I see these two characters interact with each other, and it's so cute. It makes me want to draw, but like in general, I just look at their designs and the color palettes that they have, and it just sparks immediate inspiration in me. So I just pick up my sketchbook and start doing some random doodles. Do you also have something that sparkles the inspiration like that in you? And let me know in the comments what it is if you have something like that. I quite literally look at whatever random thing there is and then see something beautiful in it, and it sparks the joy in me, and I want to start sketching even if it's completely unrelated. I just want to start creating, so it sparks this creation wish in me, if that makes sense. And as much as I can remember myself, that's how I got into drawing more often. Like, I could play a game, or I could watch some show, or I could read something nice like a poem or like a short novel or something. Even some song, like I could listen to my favorite songs and my favorite bands and the music that I love, and all of a sudden I just got the idea for a drawing. And I think that's so cool in artists. And as much as I can remember myself, I was always drawing with some other show on. Like, ever since I was a small kid, I was drawing while my favorite show was running on TV. But since it was like Central Television or cable television they're named, a lot of the times that I have already seen the episode of my favorite show, so most of the times it was just on repeat. I was already aware of what's going to happen, so it wasn't like, you know, as interesting to watch anymore because I already knew the plot twist and everything. But I still like to have it on the background while I'm drawing. And I remember one of my favorite shows at the time was Totally Spies. You know, it's like a typical kid show about girl spies. They're trying to live their regular lives like schoolgirls and students, but also being like a secret spies on missions sometimes. So, you know, it was like a cool show and it was super entertaining back at the time. And I remember how I was drawing their gadgets. Like, every time they go on a mission, their boss was giving them like a gadget to help them out on a mission. I had like a whole A4 format page filled with all the gadgets that I saw in episodes. It was so fun. I remember I had it for so long, but then it got lost, sadly. But I just remember how much I liked that drawing. Then my parents got me my very first personal computer. Internet era was just starting out, and I was looking up for my favorite shows online. Back in those days, there was no such thing like streaming platforms or like websites for watching shows or stuff like that. We were exchanging files like by local networks and stuff like that. So basically, if you had a movie, you could drop it into a local network and other people could download it or stuff like that. And piracy was such a big thing from where I come from. So everybody basically just downloaded illegal content back then, and like, you know, had all the movies and cartoons and TV series and shows like that just pirated from online, and nobody was buying anything. So my elder sister, she just downloaded some cartoons and some movies for me that I literally watched on repeat. Like there was maybe 5 of them. I remember I had Finding Nemo, then also Monsters and Corporation or something like that, and also some Disney classics that actually were originally made on VHS. That's like a cassette with magnetic tape that had movies and audio on and stuff like that. So we used to play those even before we had like personal computers and internet and stuff like that. But then, you know, as computers were going on, some of those classics were digitized and also uploaded online. So I found them up as well and downloaded them to my movie playlist, let's say. So yeah, I had like a bunch of cartoon movies that I was just playing on repeat and drawing with them. Like I was just drawing whatever. It wasn't even related to the movie. I just wanted it to play on the background so I could draw in peace, and also got inspired off of these movies because they were very pretty and fun. And even though I wasn't watching them, like I already watched them first time, second time, third time, like it was hundreds of repeats that already been there, so I could just use them instead of music. And yeah, I really like to do that. Am I weird? Does anybody does the same thing? Because as much as I can remember myself, I was always using other sources of art or like entertainment as an inspiration source. It's just a matter of habit for me right now. So I'm using whatever cool shows and games and stuff like that to inspire me. So I guess that's like part of my art journey as it is. So yeah, tell me in the comments, what is it that inspires you to draw, or what is your main creativity source or inspiration source? Maybe I could look into your insight as well. And I thank you very much for joining me in this little drawing video, and thank you for listening to my little chit chat here, and thank you very much for your support and for sticking up with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.